Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. There's nothing quite like spending time in the garden, watching your hard work bloom into something beautiful. It's like taking something old and worn out and giving it new life, wouldn't you say? Today, we're digging into my top 10 gardening tips for a thriving garden in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned gardener or just starting out, these tips will set you up for success. So grab your gardening gloves, put on your sun hat, and let's get our hands dirty. Before we plant a single seed, let's talk about knowing your planting zone. Think of it like this. Every region has its own unique personality, right? Well, your garden is a reflection of that. Knowing your planting zone helps you choose plants that will thrive in your specific climate. It's like finding the perfect piece of furniture to fit a room. It just makes sense. You can easily find your USDA plant hardiness zone online. Just type in your zip code and voila! You'll know exactly what plants will feel right at home in your neck of the woods. Trust me, friends, starting with the right foundation makes all the difference. It's like choosing the right paint color for your living room. It sets the tone for everything else. So do your research, get to know your zone, and watch your garden flourish. It's all about working with nature, not against it. Now, I know it's tempting to go all out and plant a massive garden, but especially when you're just starting out, I recommend taking it slow and steady. Rome wasn't built in a day, right? Start with a small plot or even just a few containers. This way, you can get a feel for gardening without feeling overwhelmed. Remember those shiplap walls we tackled? We started with one section at a time. As you gain confidence and experience, you can gradually expand your garden. It's like adding on to a house. You start with the essentials and grow from there. Plus, starting small allows you to really focus on each plant and give it the attention it deserves. It's about quality over quantity, my friends. Choosing the right plants is like picking out the perfect ingredients for a delicious meal. You want to make sure everything complements each other. Consider your soil type, sunlight exposure, and of course, your personal preferences. Do you love the vibrant colors of zinnias or the sweet scent of lavender? Research different plant varieties or visit your local nursery for expert advice. They can help you find the best options for your specific needs. And don't be afraid to experiment a little. Gardening is all about trying new things and seeing what works best in your space. Remember, your garden should be a reflection of you, so have fun with it and let your creativity bloom. Chapter 4. Just like a strong foundation is crucial for a house, healthy soil is the backbone of a thriving garden. It's all about creating the perfect environment for your plants to grow and flourish. Think of it this way, soil is like a big cozy bed for your plants, providing them with the nutrients and support they need to thrive. Before you plant, it's a good idea to test your soil's pH and nutrient levels. You can buy a simple soil testing kit online or at your local garden center. Based on the results, you can amend your soil with compost, manure, or other organic matter to improve its texture and fertility. It's like giving your garden a healthy dose of vitamins. Chapter 5. Watering your garden might seem straightforward, but there's a bit of an art to it. You want to make sure your plants are getting enough water without drowning them, kind of like finding the perfect balance in a good farmhouse design. The best time to water your garden is early in the morning when the temperatures are cooler. This allows the water to soak into the soil and reach the roots before it evaporates. And speaking of roots, try using drip irrigation or soaker hoses. These methods deliver water directly to the root zone, minimizing waste and keeping those leaves nice and dry. Remember, a little water goes a long way. Overwatering can lead to root rot and other problems, so it's best to water deeply but less frequently. Chapter 6. Now let's talk about mulch. It's like giving your garden a warm blanket on a chilly night. Mulch helps retain moisture in the soil, suppress those pesky weeds, and even regulate soil temperature. Plus, it just looks nice and tidy, don't you think? It's like adding the perfect finishing touch to a room renovation. You can use organic mulches like straw, wood chips, or shredded bark. These materials break down over time, adding valuable nutrients back into the soil. It's a win-win. Just apply a layer of mulch around your plants, being careful not to pile it up against the stems. Think of it as giving your plants some breathing room. You know I love creating spaces that feel welcoming and inviting, and your garden is no exception. One way to do that is by attracting pollinators like bees and butterflies. These little creatures play a vital role in our ecosystem, and they can also add a touch of magic to your garden. It's like having a little piece of nature right in your backyard. To attract pollinators, plant a variety of flowers in different colors, shapes, and sizes. Some of my favorites include lavender, salvia, and marigolds. They're not only beautiful, but also bee magnets. By creating a welcoming environment for pollinators, you'll not only enjoy a more vibrant garden, but also support the health of our planet. It's a win-win. Just like we like to switch things up in our homes, our gardens benefit from a little change every now and then too. That's where crop rotation comes in. Think of it like this. Rotating your crops each season is like giving your soil a well-deserved break. It helps prevent nutrient depletion and reduces the risk of pests and diseases. The idea is to avoid planting the same plant family in the same spot year after year. For example, if you planted tomatoes in one area this year, try planting beans or lettuce there next year. It's like a little game of musical chairs for your plants, and it keeps your soil happy and healthy. Just like every now and then, our homes need a little sprucing up. Our gardens benefit from regular maintenance too. And one of the most important tasks is pruning and deadheading. Don't worry, it's not as intimidating as it sounds. Pruning is simply the act of removing dead or diseased plant parts, which encourages healthy growth and improves air circulation. It's like giving your plants a little haircut. Deadheading, on the other hand, is the practice of removing spent blooms. This encourages your plants to produce more flowers instead of putting energy into seed production. It's a simple trick that can significantly extend your bloom time. So grab your gardening shears and give your plants a little TLC. They'll thank you for it. Gardening is a journey, not a destination. And just like any good journey, it requires a little observation and adaptation along the way. Make it a habit to regularly inspect your garden for any signs of pests, diseases, or nutrient deficiencies. Early detection is key to addressing issues before they become major problems. Think of it like this: the more time you spend in your garden, the more familiar you'll become with its rhythms and quirks. You'll start to notice subtle changes and be able to address them promptly. Remember, gardening is all about learning and growing alongside your plants. So, embrace the journey and enjoy the process. Well, there you have it, friends. My top 10 gardening tips to help you create a thriving and beautiful garden in 2025. Remember, gardening is a journey, so be patient, have fun, and enjoy the process. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which tip are you most excited to try in your own garden? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more gardening inspiration and design ideas. Happy gardening, everyone!